Lori has had a lifelong fear of what she said has made her life miserable. What is your fear?
I have a very, very bad phobia of loud, sudden noises.
Where did it come from?
I was in a gas explosion when I was around 2 years old, which I don't remember the explosion. But
what kind of noises do what to you?
Very loud, sudden noises, like a balloon breaking, even a cork popping off a champagne.
Give me some examples from your life.
Fireworks. Thunder is the worst. We moved to Florida recently, and it's just totally destroyed my life.
So what do you do with this fear? I mean, when
I go in the house.
When you hear a crack of thunder, what do you do?
I stay in my house. I put earplugs in. I got a headphone. I have a special room I have to go in. I won't go outside if I know there's going to be...
Suppose you're at a restaurant with a group of friends and a car backfires. What would you do?
I've left restaurants, Sally.
You run out of the restaurant?
I have literally run out of a restaurant in the middle of dinner.
My God. Very, very slowly. Now, this is clinical hypnotist Tom Silver. Tom Silver works with clinical people. He also works, I guess, on television. He's the author of a how-to book on hypnotism. How does hypnosis help someone who has a fear or a phobia?
Well, hypnosis can help you by helping you to relieve the anxiety or the emotion that's actually in the inner part of our mind, the inner core of our brain. You know, when a negative experience happens, that emotion can actually become recorded into our subconscious, and our subconscious identifies with our conscious thoughts. Therefore, even if she thinks of a balloon blowing up, the anxiety will come out almost as strongly, if not as strong, as
if she just thinks about it.
Right.
So thinking about it is the same as hearing the balloon pop.
Right.
Okay, you are willing to let Tom hypnotize you, right?
Yes.
Okay, we are going to see, I don't know how we can do this quickly.
Well, yeah, hypnotherapy sessions to remove trauma or emotion. Actually, it's a number of sessions usually to neutralize that emotion, to replace that emotion.
Actually, we do something similar called systematic desensitization, where we have the patient imagine the various situations, low anxiety, higher anxiety, and then full-blown anxiety, while you're in a deep state of relaxation. And hypnosis is one of the ways of helping people to relax.
Okay, we're going to meet a woman who is I know of a couple of people who are even afraid of flying. Now, what happens and how do you conquer that fear? And later, we're going to find out if our hypnotist, Tom Silver, in any way helped the first two guests overcome their fears. We'll find out.
And goes all the way up into the air. And now 3. And as that hand is in the air now, that's the old fear you're letting go of sounds, of noises. And when I touch the hand, you will release that negative, useless old emotion out of your life.
Sink or swim. That's why they call it flooding. All right, so we got that. We're going to now the hypnotism. Tom, what did you do to these women?
Oh, I did a process that we do as hypnotherapists called circle therapy. In other words, I, under hypnotism, will bring up the feeling, the fear, and the anxiety into the subconscious mind. But I don't bring it up at a little bit at a time. I'll bring it to the fullest extent of it, to the 100% mark. And then I'll release it out of the subconscious. I tie it into a physical movement in the body that we call an ideomotor response, which is tying in a subconscious suggestion into a physical movement.
Okay.
So then once I remove 50% of the anxiety, I'm able to monitor the emotion by not letting the client feel it in their mind, but monitoring it, moving it into their body. And then I reduce it to 50% of the anxiety. And after that, I monitor by judging how high the hand moves up, that it's being effective. This only can occur in the very deeper stages of hypnotism. The scientific term would be delta, or what we call somnambulism.
So they really have to be able to be hypnotized.
They have to be receptive to show demonstrations so quickly. I personally believe, as a clinical hypnotherapist, just like the psychotherapists and medical doctors, that these procedures need to be reinforced. That you just don't do it one time, but you reinforce the emotion, replacing the negative emotion with a new positive thought and feeling.
All right, let's get to what you did to Lori.
Okay, I had hypnotized her to remove the fear of sounds out of her subconscious mind. And by doing that, 90% of the emotion is going to be gone. The conscious mind might still want to create it if they don't let the process work. But again, Sally, it needs to be reinforced, so I'm going to actually recommend some local therapists to work with the client.
Okay, that's very good.
But I saw tremendous success in both of these gals. They were very receptive to let it go, and we have been able to replace that anxiety with a new positive feeling of comfort and
can
calmness.
Everybody be hypnotized?
Everybody goes into hypnotism. Not everyone goes into deep hypnotism,
but
folks.
Everyone goes
Yeah, the first time you're hypnotized, maybe 10 or 15% of the population are hypnotized. But when you watch movies, you're hypnotized. Driving in your car and daydreaming, you're hypnotized.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Oh. Oh.
But how'd that feel in reaction to the first time you experienced it?
Better.
Better.
Yes.
Okay. Absolutely. Much better.
Yes, feel my hand.
Much better. Yeah.
I wouldn't have stayed here before.
She would not have stayed here before this one.
Before she would have run out of the studio. Thank heavens you didn't.